Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio, and today we're going to take a look at how to use the natural minor scale with one altered note that makes it like the harmonic minor scale. Okay, so we're not playing the full harmonic minor the whole way through, but we're adding it in at one specific point to really add some drama, and you might notice it sounds a little bit classically influenced. Okay, so that might be the first thing you think. And it's because of this one note, so I'll explain to you what I'm talking about in just a second here. So first off, as we go through this, I'm playing the A natural minor scale, which you might know from the 5th fret. So if you already know the scale, this is a very traditional way to play it. I'm playing it in a different way just to add on these trills, or I guess we can say hammer-ons, pull-offs, in an easy way. Because otherwise, if I go up here, I have to do it with my ring and my pinky. So I'm down here at my index and my middle. So the positioning here is a little different than you might think of if you're familiar with the natural minor, let's say starting on the 5th fret. So we're doing A natural minor. So I'm going through here, and instead of moving my root note with my index, I'm using my root note with my pinky, okay? So anyone here, if you know the modes, this shape could be considered, I guess you could say, part of a 3-note per string Lydian scale. F Lydian, in terms of the shape. It's still the A minor scale, but we could look at it like that, or we can think of it like a traditional G mixed Lydian. That's where I'm starting from, okay? So I'm gonna start from the E note. So I'm gonna do a hammer-on pull-off from E to F. So 8th note, 16th. 2/16ths, I should say. Okay, so E, F, E, D, C, B. So on the 5th string, 5, 3, 2. Going to A, so the 5th fret on string 6. And then B, C, which is 2, 3 on the 5th string. And going to D again, so 5th fret on the A string, to 3, to 2, which is D, C, B, A on string number 6. And then I'm going to the one altered note, the G sharp. Okay, so this is from the harmonic minor. So if we raise the 7th note of the natural minor, we get the harmonic minor, which is a really cool sound. And the reason why it works so well is because of what's called the leading tone. So this note leads right into the root note. So G sharp leads right into A versus G to A. So if I played the same phrase, let's say with G sharp here, sounds really cool, right? If I did it with a G natural, it sounds completely different. And this also affects the chords underneath, or I should say the chords underneath affect why we would use this note as well. So I'm playing A minor for the first part, and then for the E major, okay? So A minor, E major, and the G sharp is in the E major chord. That's why it can work so well. So you'll see this used quite often in a minor key where it's typically A minor, E minor. I shouldn't say typically, but theoretically in the key of A minor, E minor is the 5th chord, okay? But in this case here, we're using E major to give it that leading tone or the raised 7th sound. And you can also look at it like the harmonic minor scale, right? So now I'm going to repeat the same phrase in the next octave up, doing E on the 2nd string, 5th fret, E, F, E, so 5, 6, 5, 7, 5 to 4 on the 3rd string. D, C, B. A is the 7th fret, string 4. And then B, C is 4, 5 on the G string. And then instead of the same ending, which would be like, we're going to change it. We're going to go to a D, E, so 7 on string 3, 5 on string 2, C, which is 5 on string 3, to D, which is 7 on string 3, to B, which is 4th fret on string 3. Now we're going to finish on that note. Now that note sounds cool too because in the E chord, a B note exists as well, okay? So it also works, it's just not that harmonic minor note, the raised 7th, okay? There we go. So the first phrase, second phrase. Now we're going to go all the way to the high octave here, the E note on the 1st string 12th fret, and repeat the same as the first phrase, but in this octave. So we're going to do E, F, E, so 12, 13, 12, and then D, C, B, which is 15, 13, 12 on the 2nd string, to A, which is 14 on the 3rd string, and then BC, which is 12, 13 on the second string. And then we're going to do DCB, which is 15, 13, 12 on the second string, 14 on the third string, which is an A, to a G sharp again, which is the 13th fret on string 3. Now instead of repeating the same phrase again, what we're going to do here is finish it off with a nice classically inspired phrase. So 15, 13, 12 on the second string, which is D, C, B. And then here, this is where it goes to the E chord. 14 on string 3 to G sharp, and then back to A, because it resolves to A minor. Okay, so for the rest of it, the chords last for a full measure each, like 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we switch it. Just nice and simple, but this would go. And I add some vibrato at the end there. So I tried to hold off on the vibrato before. I love adding vibrato in, but I was intentionally trying to. I don't know if I did a good job of it, but trying to only save it for that last note. So we're going to let it sit for a split second and then add some nice vibrato. So I'm doing it wide and fast. All right, so first phrase. Second phrase. Third phrase. Fourth phrase. All right, so when you look at those phrases, they also follow a very, very common formula, which we'll refer to as A, B, A, C. So the first phrase and third phrase are both A's, just in a different octave, right? So same exact phrase. The second phrase is slightly different, so just the ending is changed. And this is what commonly will happen, just a slight variation on it. And then the final ending is completely different, which we'll call C, right? And this can work for chord progressions. It can work for phrases you're actually making. I use it all the time. So the A, B, A, C formula, very, very good trick to use as you're making your own phrases or own melodies, okay? So play with this. This gives you the idea of how to use the notes from the natural minor, but also throw in that harmonic minor note. We're not focusing only on the harmonic minor, but just for that one piece, the natural seventh or raised seventh. Has a really cool sound. So play with it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos like this each week, and I'll see you soon.